My name is Merlyn, the Dragon Alchemist, and today we are going to be talking about creating dragon altars and the different types of dragon altars you can create on this path. So a dragon altar is a space you dedicate to the dragons. It can be a place where you give them offerings or just a place you go to connect with their energy directly. Now that does not mean that you need a dragon altar to connect with their energy. In fact, you can connect with their energy in any place or time. Not everyone has a safe place to create an altar or even enough space or funds to create an extravagant altar, and that does not take away from the power an altar can have. I will be giving options for everyone and even giving you guys some examples of some of my friends' dragon altars. Your safety for the dragons means more than anything. If you are in a household where you are not safely able to openly practice, even if it's not witchcraft, if your altar or anything is threatening to your household, please I have options for you. Don't compromise your safety for the dragons. That's the last thing they want. My other disclaimer is with fire. Let's say that you have some shelves. If you have candles, please make it like 4 feet worth of space from that candle from the next layer of shelf. I see layered bookshelves with candles on them, and it is the biggest fire hazard. I do not want you guys burning down your house in your life for a freaking dragon altar. Like, please be safe. And then my last disclaimer about the deities. As you know, there are many mythology stories where deities slay dragons, and if you are going to be working with a dragon slaying deity and dragons, you can run into lots of problems, and I think just in general should be avoided. Don't work with Jormungandr and Thor. Don't work with Hercules and a Hydra. Like, please stay away from dragon slaying deities and dragons. Let them be separate, and if you are hell-bent on working with both, do it in different rooms on different days, and make sure the dragons are okay with it. Like, please. I have seen too much bad things happen, and we don't need more dragon mythology created in our current times, please. So working altars are going to be an altar where you are doing your spell work with the dragons. This may be the place where you keep all of your herbs, and you kind of want a more open place because doing spell work can be really messy sometimes. And then we have dedicational altars. These are more common. This is the space dedicated to a certain dragon guide, so it's going to be more personalized to that guide itself, incorporating their different elementals, symbols, and crystal colors, whatever. And then next we have personal altars, which I feel like is never really talked about, and this aspect is more through the draconianism path, but basically it's an altar for your dragon aspect self. So just basically an altar for yourself. It's really fun and highly recommend it if you're on the draconian path. My favorite is body altars. This is where your body is your temple, and the dragons take that literally. So you can wear certain clothes, colors, jewelry, veils, crystals. Like, every day can be that routine of creating that connection with yourself and the dragons through your body, and I think that's perfect because in any second throughout your day, you have that altar with you. So working spaces. As a dragon high priestess myself, a dragon working space is very important to me. I have a whole dragon room basically where I do my business related dragon stuff, like shipping my orders, taking pictures, listing stuff, but mostly it's where I do my dragon connection readings. So it's almost like a sacred space, but I do need to treat it better like it is a sacred space because it's a working space. It's technically an altar. Outdoor altars. This is so fun for people that live close to nature or have the ability to have a backyard or front yard space where they can connect with nature and the dragons, because let's be honest, the dragons are going to prefer an outdoor altar over anything. They are beings of nature and they love being outside, connected to nature. This is sometimes where you'll feel the most connected with dragons in general, so an altar made out of outside ingredients in a special place you can visit would be something so special. Portable altars are so fun and easily accessible if you're someone who likes to do spells anywhere at any time, and I even make my own portable altars. I make altar boxes on my site. I do even combined dragon connection readings and altars, and then we'll just create a custom altar box based on that dragon. But they are so fun. You can have runes, pendulums, like divination tools or connection spells. Anything can be in the little portable altar, and you can take it anywhere and connect anywhere. And I think they're so fun, especially if you are low on space. It can be helpful for those that are in apartments, or the closeted witches. If you have something that you need to hide away, that can be easily hidden. Divination altars are fun because that's where you're going to get lots of the messages. So having your divination tools like your dice, your pendulum, your cards, and just sitting there and having your communication sessions would be so fun. On my divination altar, since it's basically my job, I have to keep it very clean and clear and have very powerful, strong items that help me connect with the dragons. It's a whole setup I need to have. And so daily altars can be really anywhere, and just a tiny little space that you use every day when you're getting ready or something. You can pull a card or have a certain crystal out or a certain candle out, and that is your today's energy manifestation altar. Closeted altars are something that needs to be spoken about more, because there's this big misconception about you needing an extravagant altar in order to have this connection with the dragons, when that is so far from the truth. There are many ways to hide altars or witchcraft related items, but please, like, your safety means more than any tool. And maybe you can keep it in a shoebox, or actually keep it in your closet. Be a real closeted witch. I don't know. I've never experienced this, but I just want to make sure everyone is staying safe. But please, I'm so sorry if you are not able to openly practice. Just keep things simple, and they really shouldn't question much. Like, I have dragon toys in my house. It's fine. Dragon books, like, it's fine. Dragon art, like, that can't be questioned too much. It's when you just start getting extra witchy, like leaving out spell jars and engraved candles, that can be really threatening to some people. Your body is the best altar, but people are getting so creative with online altars. Like, you can create an altar in Minecraft. Freaking, like, you guys are so creative. Even Pinterest, you can create altars. Pop culture witchcraft and online witchcraft. It's beautiful. Okay, last but not least, we have a temple altar. You're like, what does that mean? Well, it could be actual physical altar, or you could be doing it in the astral. I personally don't have temple building materials, so I can build one in the astral. But it is the goal to one day create my own dragon temple, even if it's made out of sticks in the woods. Still, in the future, one day, maybe I'll have a giant temple that we can all go to and worship the dragons. So the first step in creating an altar is to cleanse and bless the space. Physically clean it and maybe wipe it down with some Florida water. And then to bless it, you can wipe it down with some oils or use some smoke. So what do you put on a dragon altar? This can be different for everyone and for every kind of dragon, because different kinds of dragons will want different kinds of things on their altars. So really, just a basic understanding is they were going to love anything dragon related. Dragon crystals, dragon's blood, dragon plants, dragon books, like anything dragon, they wanted. You don't need a million candles, crystals, or decks. Sometimes having a few items that you have a strong connection with means more than a lot of items that you really don't connect with. Plus, guys, it is expensive. I have spent so much money on crystals and all of this stuff. Like, it's ridiculous to the point where I need to be selling these things instead of buying them. It's to the point where it's a problem. And if I'm going to move houses, it's going to be like 10 boxes of crystals. Dragon hoarding can get to you on the dragon path, so be careful with that and don't spend lots of money. Finding your own crystals or making your own candles can be way better than spending hundreds of dollars on this stuff that you really don't need. And to personalize it for the dragon, their elemental energies can be incorporated, or their colors, or even just their preferences. Sometimes dragons have their own quirks and things that they like and dislike, so sit down with them, maybe even pull some cards, do some divination, and see if they have any special requests. And if you don't know where to start with adding things to your altar, start with the draconic elements. For the light element, maybe add some fairy lights. For the dark element, maybe add a black mirror. For chaos, maybe some tangled jewelry, and for spirit, maybe some dragon art. In Wicca, it's common to incorporate the main elements into your altars, so adding a candle for fire, incense for air, tea for water, and a crystal for earth are just a great way to start any altar, really. But I think my favorite part is each culture can do this differently and has different traditions. Like, you have feng shui for the year of the dragon. Definitely be taking tips from them because they know what they're doing, and with the year of the dragon, I feel like almost everyone should have a dragon altar for this year just for fun. Because you do not need to work with dragons to have a dragon altar. Anyone can have a dragon altar. Now, with my examples, you can really create a dragon altar with anything, just from items from nature would even be perfect. They are beings of nature in general, right? Sometimes less is more. My altars will sometimes get crowded with lots of crystals and offerings, and it will be hard for me to keep up on their care and maintenance, and I'll end up with a dirty dragon altar for like a year, and the dragons are not very happy with me. So I really cut down on their crystals on their altar and they're a lot happier, so you don't need to crowd it, please. So now you have your altar, but now you need to maintain it. This can sometimes be a daunting task if you have multiple, or if you have a certain husky that likes to put hair everywhere every second of the day. So what I personally strive to do, I know I don't do this every day, but blowing or dusting off the altar, lighting a candle and smoke cleansing, and just sitting at the altar revering the dragon's energy basically is what you want to have as like a daily routine or weekly routine to maintain your altar and keep up with that connection. Keeping the altar space clean both spiritually and physically can both benefit you and your dragons. They know we're human and things are going to get messy and they aren't going to take it out on you. They may be a little salted about it, but nothing bad is going to happen. If anything, they just want to help you clear that negative energy from your space and from your mind, because as above, so below, as within, so without. If your altar spaces are clean and cleared, your connection with the dragons will be crisp and clear too. Beating yourself up about a messy altar just defeats the whole purpose of having an altar in general. I feel like I covered the basics on dragon altars, maybe even a little bit too much, but you know, dragon altars are the places where all the magic happens sometimes, and I know so many people are like, how do I make one? And I can't make one, what do I do? So hopefully this answered everyone's questions, and if you guys are wanting more information on the dragons, I do teach over on my Patreon. We are talking about the draconic elements over there. We have gone over basically all of them. This month is spirit, so you can't really look up information like that online. So if you want that exclusive dragon information, let me know on Patreon. And if you want dragon connection readings or dragon artwork, I do both combination dragon readings and custom dragon organite, where I connect with any guides connecting with you, bring forward messages on what they look like and how you can work with them, and then we go in and create custom dragon organite to perfectly represent their energies that came through. I hope you have a wonderful altar making time, and please tag me in your dragon altars. I would love to see them.